Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Maverick here with another episode of Gatsu no Lion. So, last episode, we finally got a new teacher for Hina, and it seems that we are finally going to make some progress towards actually resolving her situation. Finally, it's been a long time coming now, and I can't wait until we can finish this entire thing. Not only for Hina's sake, but I do want to. No, we want them to be happy, right? We want them to be happy, to be the supporting pillar for Ray, and we want to continue to see Ray push on through his struggles in life as well. So, it would be nice if we can finally get this settled and allow Hina to get into a better state of mind as well. I do believe that in this episode we're gonna see some of the countermeasures that this new teacher has proposed, and who knows, maybe we'll actually see Ray make an appearance this episode. In any case, let's get right into it. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Koku. So the end of last episode. Alright. Well, I guess the anime recapped the episode for me. So once Hina gets her situation dealt with, I'm guessing Ray will also be inspired by this as well. Hmm. You know, the thing about this sort of anime is that there's really not much for me to add to it, right? It's more about the atmosphere of all this. But, I think I already mentioned that at the beginning of this series. So, I'll do my best. Oh. I actually made them apologize. Hmm. Well, I guess that just completely invalidates everything I said last episode. Ah, here we go. At least this part was kind of obvious here. With the way that this anime has been so far, it seems that every single person needs to have a backstory to why they're acting the way they are.
さ
Alright.
てと、しそはこれでよし。バシルはその横でいいよ。
So,
別にしよう。増えすぎるからね。
what was his action plan for Hina then?
水あげよっか。たっぷりめにね。
I'd get this.
先週、ホームルームの時間に、先生がよく通る声で言った。さてと、今日はみんなにちょっといろいろ聞かせてほしいことがあるんだ。で、まず新井、高志、木村、望月、高木、若林。この6人は個別に質問があるんで、それぞれの先生について他の教室へ。ここでクラス全員が気がついた。クラスの中の闇に学校側が本気で介入してきたことに。この先生は決してこれをうやむやにする気はないということに。さてと、じゃあざっくりといこうかね。で、ぶっちゃけどうなの実際のとこ。
Alright.
クラスの中に流れていた暗黙のルールがここからは通用しなくなること。
So it was more of a hands-on approach.
次のターゲット
Alright.
は自分かもと怯えて過ごす日々は終わるのかもしれないということ。
But once it turns into this kind of situation, how are those 6 going to be able to come back to class then?
すみませんでした。すみません。閉じたのかどうかもわからない言葉で。心みじんもこもってねえし、まだ先は長そうだな。先生、私、許さなくてもいいですか？何の罰則もなくて、謝ったら許されるくらいのことで、千穂ちゃんは転校しなきゃいけなかったなんて。そんなの、やりきれないから。思いやり？あんまりピンとこないっていうか、偽善みたいな。なんか、それ必要みたいな。
I mean, her attitude definitely isn't helping the situation.
教育か。教育とはうまいこと言ったもんだよ。教えるに育てるか。育の字がなけりゃ、とっくに放り出してるぜ。こんなこと。
I actually really have no idea where they're going with this now. No. Chiho? Hmm. But she doesn't have any peers, though. Start with friends with people older. Yeah, that's definitely very important. Yay! Is this gonna change how Hina feels about this situation now, though? Oh, are we literally going? Oh, no, no, no. That's right. Slowly back away.
寝てる。
Really, dude.
なんだろう。久しぶりだ。彼女の周りの空気が柔らかい。なんか、ぼんやりと光っているような。ずっと見ていたいような。
You gonna fall asleep as well? Yeah, he fell asleep.
研究会で先輩にもらったんだ。いっぱい取れたから持ってけって。いかん、ついつられてやってしまった。おー、すごい。こんなに。っていうか、全部島田さんはせっかくなったのに食べないんですか？
Oh, he grew them. Huh. I thought he actually got them from his hometown.
ジャム。あ、あかりさん。
食費がまた浮いちゃう。ジャム作る。いい匂い。嬉しいな。お姉ちゃんのマーマレード美味しいんだ。
Look at the light around her.
やっぱりぼーっと光ってる。なんでだろう。
桐山くん、あのね、終わったみたい。終わったんだと思う。多分。
ああ、そうか。これはその光か。
Yeah. She's glowing, alright. Super glowing.
かわいいでしょ。昨日同じクラスの川島さん家でみんなで作ったの。同じ班なの。木内さんと小林さんとお父さんと5人で。
She's not ostracized anymore.
あのね、今日川島さん家でクッキー作ろうって言ってて、一緒に来ない？ごめんなさい。怖かったの。だから何もできなかったの。私たち謝ってももう許してなんかもらえないかもしれないけど、でもどうしても謝りたくて。それから服を着替えてもう一度川島さんの家に集まって、
Overjoyed.
みんなでたくさんのクッキーを焼いた。
I gotta say though,
出来上がっ
The BGM for this series is absolutely stellar. Right, you were there for me. Oh, I'm serious. The music for this is so good. All right. And that basically concludes this arc, I guess. See you guys after this. Well, there we go. We've got Hina's happy ending here, and it's all flowers and sunshine, right? Like, literally flowers and sunshine, as we can see from this episode, with all the light surrounding Hina and whatnot. So how do we start this, right? I think at this point, some of you guys might be thinking, Maverick, you are so heartless, dude. How can you not feel moved by and touched by how the story is progressing and whatnot, and how we got this big happy ending? Hina, Chiho, justice has been served, yada yada yada. Like, I don't know. It's not like I don't appreciate what's happening here. I mean, I definitely do want Hina to get back to her normal life, right? And if there's anything that I am very, very glad of, it's that Chiho is also apparently doing well with her sort of reintegration. And I hesitate to call it rehab, but in a sense it is a sort of rehab, right? At least her mind is gradually coming back to a normal position here. Her wounds are slowly being healed here. I think more than anyone else, I'm most glad that Chiho is okay. It's just that I don't know. I don't really have anything to comment yet on this situation. I want to see what exactly comes out of this first. To me, I feel like it's still unfinished in a way, so I can't really have any. I can't really have any judgment on this yet. Like, I want to know what is going to become of Hina's attitude now that Chiho is apparently in a better place now, and of course Hina that's like the biggest thing that she is worried about as well, right? So how is that? How is she going to move forward from this? How is she going to grow from this? How is she going to walk forward from this? We can definitely see the positive impact on Ray, right? How after this entire situation came to be, how he grew as a person and evolved in a way, right? I want to know the same about Hina as well, Chiho as well. Like, is I not only am I glad that she actually walked out of her trauma now, I think one thing I really appreciate from this episode is they actually talked about the fact that she needs to reintegrate herself with her peers, right? I mean, it's one thing to allow her to have a happy life as well, making friends with animals, making friends with elders and whatnot. It's super important that she also has a normal relationship with those of her same age, those of her peers, and I'm glad that the anime actually touched on that subject and actually used it as a segue to connect with Hina back again. But still, we can continue to go forward, right? It doesn't just stop there. So I want to see what becomes of that situation before I make a comment on that as well. And also Takagi, right? I definitely feel, even though I guess with all my talk last episode about how I did like how this new teacher was handling the situation, and in a sense he did become more hands-on with it, but at the same time, I guess his resolution to this problem was he just basically gave them special consult. I guess you could say, but didn't really dish out any punishment, if you will. So in that sense, I think it maybe still ties back on what I said last episode about keeping it neutral as possible, and try to actually slowly nudge things back into the right direction. Right? I feel like the spirit of that is still here, although even he did basically call out them immediately, right? So I do think that in this case, I'm still waiting for Takagi to actually fully come around as well. I think that there's still more that can be done on that side, so I want to wait for that as well. Um, and so yeah, that's basically what I'm taking away from this episode and this entire arc so far. Obviously, I'm sure just going through the episode itself, it seems clear that probably lots of people are crying and whatnot over this episode. I'm looking at this from a much different angle here. So sorry guys. If there is one thing, however, and I do have to say this, if there's one thing I'm taking away from this anime, this series so far, is in its soundtrack slash sound design. It is absolutely a masterpiece, I gotta say. And no, it's funny, right? Different people. I'm sure that some really like the story, some really like the characters, some really like the art style. For me, the absolute standout of this series so far is in its soundtrack and sound design. I think this isn't the first time I've mentioned this. I think in the past episodes, maybe back in season 1 as well, I have mentioned this before. But that just shows you how much I really enjoy the soundtrack to this. It's great, and it's not just the background music as well, right? I mean, the background music obviously is stellar. It really enhances and lifts the experience of the anime, combined with what's happening on screen and all that. Like, that is absolutely top tier. But even times when it's not music, right? Even the usage of silence. Going back to, I forgot what episode it was. You guys recall the one where there was a few actually. There's a few instances of this, both in terms of the shogi settings. One to really sort of create this atmosphere of constrictiveness on Rei, and then the other to create this atmosphere of how can I put this? discomfort, let's say. Lots of noise, basically, and to sort of get on nerves. Let's say I can't really say. I don't know what's happening to me. I can't speak today. But anyways, so basically my point is the sound design for this is absolutely fantastic. The sound director, man, Kameyama Toshiki, Kameyama Toshiki, right? He did an absolute wonderful job to this. I think this is, if this can absolutely go on. If anybody asks me like what would be your top soundtracks or your top animes as examples of great sound design, I think Sangatsu no Lion definitely falls into that category. So maybe a different focus point than what others would do, but hey, it's the one standout thing for me and the one thing that I'm really enjoying from this series so far. So yeah, that's basically it for this episode. Like I said, I do expect and I really hope that they still continue with the matters in regards to Hina, in regards to Chiho, in regards to Takagi in the future episodes as well. But at least for now, let's just be glad that things are in a really in a good mood and a good light and a good position now, right? So there we go. That's for this episode. Let me know what you guys think about all this. What is your biggest takeaway from this entire arc so far in regards to the entire bullying thing? Or perhaps, like I said, we're not entirely finished with this yet, and so we can wait a few episodes. Anyways, that's it for now. I'll see you guys next time, and bye-bye.